Welcome to this episode of the Art Life Podcast, where we talk about your art business, being successful as an artist. I am your host. I am D Muse, artist coach, specializing in branding, marketing, sales, and positioning for your fine art career. If you do need more help with getting your direction, where you want to go in your art business, if you need more visibility, if you need strategy to achieve your goals, if you need help goal setting because you don't even know what your goals could or should possibly be, make sure you go to imdmuse.com. Make sure you go to imdmuse on Instagram and check out the Pay the Artist Club, and we can get you in our group coaching program and get you to where you want to be. Today, first and foremost, special shout out to ORAG. Oh, that's Overdue Recognition Art Gallery in Bowie, Maryland. We actually kicked off the Black Art Gallery tour there April 11th. That was amazing and definitely was honored and felt blessed to be in the spot. This is their 20-year anniversary, actually, this 2024 that we're currently in. So they're OGs in this thing. Stopped through this past weekend and just chopped it up with my gallerist friends, Derek and Jackie, who are the owners of Overdue Recognition Art Gallery, and shout to Roger, their gallery manager as well. And we had some great conversation, and I wanted to pick up the conversation and kind of have it with you guys, right? Or I guess have it with myself and have you listen to my take on the conversation. But definitely, of course, as always, all feedback is appreciated. Drop your comments in there, send them to me, email or DM. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, any topics that you want me to cover in the future, you can go ahead and send that to me as well. And we'll get around to it. So, one of the things that we spoke about was the marketing of artists, of course, right? Because that's like one of my favorite topics to talk about, right? Marketing and branding, particularly when it pertains to artistry and creatives. And we spoke about how a lot of artists don't understand that they need a budget for marketing. And if you don't have a budget for marketing, you need to figure out a way to cover what the budget would have cost. So you can exchange, goods and or services, but if it costs $1,000 to market in a magazine, it costs $1,000 to market in a magazine. That's marketing. So if you go to a gallery or a dealer or something and they're spending that $1,000 on marketing, it's still being spent. It has to be spent. It's part of marketing. It doesn't necessarily have to be through that way, but some sort of marketing has to be done. It's going to cost you something. It's either going to cost you money or it's going to cost you time, and probably a lot more time than it would cost money relatively. And time is more precious than money anyway. But it's going to take something. It's going to be something you have to put in to get something back. It's going to be some type of sacrifice that somebody has to make. A lot of artists don't want to make that. They want to give it to somebody else and have them make it. Or maybe they're not conscious of it, or just kind of don't care. Just here you do what you do. And maybe a lot of them don't know what it takes. So because they've never been gallerists or dealers or anything, or have the opportunity to have had any insight into that world, they don't know you might have had to gone to 3, networking events, which all cost money to get in. You had to buy drinks. You don't want to sit there looking crazy. Some food, all of that. All of this is expenses for you to meet the people that are gonna buy the stuff. Like, something goes into it. Whether you're doing it or somebody else is doing it for you, it's being done. Or it's already been done. All that work has already been put into it. 20 years of relationship has already been built, and now you want to come in and capitalize off of the 20 years of the relationship for nothing. Or maybe you understand that, of course, there's going to be some commission because the people are working and only slaves work for free. Even if the work has already been put in because they've been there 20 years, the work has been put in. If you've been painting for 40 years, you want to be paid like you've been painting for 40 years, like you're an expert. So if you're an expert, you've been doing this for a couple of decades, you're definitely an expert. You want to be paid like it. But even with low commission percentages, when I say low, I mean anything less than 50%, because for the longest, 50 has been the standard. But anything less than that is a lower commission. I myself, as an art dealer, only charge 35%, which only entities that I know has been lower than that has been nonprofits. It's not charging anything up front either. So I'm very artist forward, being an artist myself. I do what I can, but still, anybody trying to work for free, so you have to work it out, make it feasible for everybody. But that's the same thing that has to happen. My fault. I'm at the park and this old man just really just stepped up the curb and just took this crazy spill and said, "Woo!" He's all right though. I'm looking at him now. He got up and froze over and got up slowly, but he's walking back. All right, cool. Yeah, he's good. He got on his whole Adidas outfit, top to bottom. You know what I mean? He's good. Yeah, he's all right. Slight limp, but he's all right. It wouldn't have been as funny if he just said "woo" like what was it? So if you heard that in the background, that's what that was. That was hilarious. But I digress, right? So back on topic before I get totally lost. So um, when you're dealing with galleries or dealers or people who are already active, already doing things, they're already working with artists, already dealing with artists, and they have responsibilities and obligations to those artists. And now you're coming in, adding more responsibilities and obligations. Um, and now you have to do more work to essentially serve more people. So it's kind of a line, first and foremost, because you're already dealing with whoever you're dealing with. Then you probably, as a dealer or gallerist, and I was a gallerist for over 8 years, um, and I still curate currently. You also have a handful or more, usually at least a dozen, of artists that you have not had the opportunity to work with yet that you would like the opportunity to work with. You're maybe trying to figure out what that opportunity is going to look like. You might be putting it together or just waiting for something to kind of fit to get those people in, or some of those wherever they can get. So you have the ones you're working with, the ones you want to work with, and then now here you come, the ones you wasn't even thinking about. So it's already a line. So the conversation was, how do we cut that line, right? As artists. And one of the things we talked about was, let's say, untraditional, unconventional, but very enticing. And I thought about it personally as a gallerist. What would I do? And no matter what, like, I kind of couldn't shake it. I'm like, wow, if an artist really came to me this way, um, I would 9.5 out of 10 times accept the work. Like, it would just really have to be like, and I know everything is subjective, and I try not to look at things that only things that I personally like, because I know somebody else might like something else. I in my career journey, um, one of the ways I got good at sales, I was in automobiles, sold cars, um, and it might be a lime green, 3-door hatchback or something somewhere. It might take 2 years for that thing to sell, but it's going to sell, and the person it's going to sell to is going to love it. They're going to come in. This is exactly what I was looking for. You like this ugly piece of? We used to say there's a butt for every seat. There's a wall for every pan. Might not take up the whole wall. Might be a bunch of other stuff on that wall. Might be tucked in the corner at the bottom of the wall. I don't know, but it's a wall for every pan. And somebody's gonna like it. You do the numbers. There's over 8 billion people in this world. It's kind of impossible for nobody to like it. For nobody to resonate with it or see something in it that they like. Now you might have to go show it to all 8 billion depending on what it look like, but along your journey you're gonna find somebody who likes it. So 9 out of 10 times, if I was approached this way that I'm getting ready to get into in a moment, I would accept the offer and see what I could do, right? Because it just kind of doesn't make sense not to take them up on it. So let me drop this hack, right? So again, shout out to Derek and Jackie. Derek Jackson, Thompson. I'm sorry, the Thompsons. Um, they proposed this, and it was give your art to galleries. And I know all artists are immediately appalled, like, what? What did he say? Yeah, I said it. Give, like give, not like loan, not consign. You know, give your art to galleries. And the deal is, I want you to have these pieces, and he suggested multiple pieces. Um, I, I mean, there's more options, I guess. Me personally, as a visual artist, I probably do one piece, but he said multiple pieces, and I mean, if you got a whole lot of art, then I guess it's skin off of, or was it hair off a cat's back, skin off a cat's? No, I don't know. I'm not a huge cat guy, and why people skinning cats and stuff anyway? I don't like. Where did these phrases come from? There was a lot of violence going on back then. But I digress. So now, the idea is you give some pieces to the gallery, and you tell the gallery, here, these are yours. Like, yours, you can have them, you can keep them, do whatever you want with them. And if they sell, maybe we can talk about doing some more business. So I sat there and I thought about it, and I'm like, if somebody came to me with a few pieces and said, you can have these, see what you can do with them. If the work is at least decent, especially if, how Derek was making, say, frame them, position line, he like, these things is ready to go, I would probably accept the work. I would probably say, okay, because you're giving me a gift. One, the art itself is a gift, because I appreciate art, right? Beyond that, if I sell this is all profits, 100% commission. I'm going to be incentivized to sell that. Because even if I sell it for less than what I'm selling some other stuff for, the retail price, it's still going to be less. Excuse me, I still might end up getting more because it's 100% commission than a 35% commission off of something. So if I sell $1,000 piece, I would get $350. If I sell this piece that they just gave me for free for $400 just to see if it sells, just to get it out of there, I made $400 instead of $350. And it's easier to sell something typically for $400 than it is for $1,000, which means I probably made the money easier too. And if the gallerist is now seeing that this work is selling, guess what? They want more work to sell. They're going to come back and be like, hey, your work has been going. It's been, well received. Not only have people, praised it and shown interest in it, but people have started purchasing the work. I want to work with you so we can get more of your work sold, because obviously your work is selling. People like your work. You just got the proof of concept all in one. Again, you've already made this gallerist or art dealer money, and they probably, hopefully, maybe, I would come with, a little stipend, a little check or something, break you off a little something, even though that wasn't the agreement. It's kind of how I work. So if I made the little $400 off the joint, I'm, meet up with you, might slide you $100. Here you go. You know what I mean? Basically get you a commission piece off of it. Because the deal was I keep it all. But, it's in my heart. I'm like, let me at least try to cover for materials and, the base time or whatever. Like, I'll feel some type of way. But it's still business, right? I'm not gonna give you all of it. So we made a deal. But that got you in. That was your investment. That was your investment. So there's other ways you can look at stuff, because there's situations where you could pay for wall space. Wall space is being paid for, period, by you or the gallery. And taking down something that they know is selling, or sold before, as a high probability of selling, is well received, to put up something where they don't know is going to sell is a risk to them. So not too many people are going to be jumping to work with an artist who's unproven when they got bills to pay. So remember that from a gallery standpoint. They paying $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a month to be in this space, whether art sale or not. How are you contributing to that? If they close, it don't help you. How are you helping keep them open? You just found your way in. You just shortcutted the line like a mug. Man, you ran over the curb like that? Jeez, they wilding in this park. I just came to get a workout. You know what I mean? Wow. But you skipped the line. You've built the relationship. You've proved that your work is wanted. And you made some new friends because you put some money in their pockets. Now, if you happen to had given them multiple pieces, and let's say those multiple pieces go, and they have some work in there from artists that they've been working with, and your work is so, moved faster than those other pieces, guess what? You kind of start to take precedent. You kind of move up in the line a little bit. So, it's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Now, do you want to get your best works? You don't want to get nothing that's the opposite of that, of course. Again, this is your way in. And if you can't stomach giving multiple pieces, especially if you're talking about multiple places, give one piece per place. And one of the things I said in the conversation is, worst case scenario, you're probably going to get your art back. You come in and check them, and you can put the time, like, take the work for 3 months, see what happens with it, whatever. I come back and, checking with you into that time or whatever. You can set some time on it. Still, if you give it to them, give it to them. Because, again, you're not consigning it. Or you can do some in between and say, you can have 3 months to sell it. If you sell it within that 3 months, you get, 100%. You can keep 100% of it. If you don't sell it in that 3 months, you give it back. So you can make those arrangements. But what's probably going to happen anyway, if they have it for multiple months and you come back and check on it and nothing happened with it, nobody liked it, whatever, they probably going to give it back to you. They don't want it. They got enough art. What they need this for? They might hold on to a piece just in case you happen to blow. They might. They might. Because you never know, right? So they might be like, all right, let me just, it ain't nothing now. Ain't nobody receiving it. But, who knows, in 30 years, this might be worth, $500,000. Let me hold on to it. But even then, they now know who you are. Like, know who you are. I'm sure your relationship with them is going to be better. I'm sure that if opportunities come in the future, you'll be an option. Or one of the things Derek said was, a lot of times you'll get a referral. It's like, okay, this kind of didn't work here, but I do know another place that this would be great for. Or another gallerist came in and saw while I was up and was like, oh, I love this work. This would work great in my place. And then now you get the referral to go over there. And you never gave them any free work, but you got the referral, so you didn't need to. Like, the thing is about getting in, about breaking in, putting your foot over the line. Get in the door. Get in the loop, get in the conversation. It's a lot easier to maneuver from the inside. And it's not the easiest to break in. There's millions of artists. There's not enough walls. Because every artist is making multiple pieces of art. It's always going to be more art than there is artists. And there's always going to be more art than there is places to put it. Prominently, let's say that. Because you're kind of scattered over the desert. That don't count. Places to put it respectively. It was appreciated as it should be. So figure out how to break in. This hack right here is amazing. It's like, you could pay the $1,000 to do your own marketing, whether that be social media, email blasts, magazine articles and covers and interviews and all types of stuff like that, ads. Or you can create something, give it away, and build the relationship. And it's going to cost you, literally cost you less. Not what I could have potentially sold this for. Like, that's potentially anyway. It'll literally cost you less than what it would to do the marketing yourself. In worst case scenario, you probably get it back if it's horrible. If nobody like it, they don't want it either. So it's here, take that back. Go do something else with it, give it to somebody else, sell it yourself, whatever it is that you do. So it's not gonna hurt you. It can definitely help you. If they sell your work, they're gonna want more work to sell. Again, shout out to the Pay the Artist Club. Go to imdmuse.com. Book a consultation. Get your Pay the Artist t-shirts and hoodies. And tell a friend to tell a friend. We over here improving our artists' marketing, branding, sales, and positioning. This is D Muse. Pay the Artist. Peace.